up? What up?
Woo! Let's go. It's been a week, man. Let's fucking go. God damn.
I'm gonna start doing these more often.
I want to complain. I just want to bitch about stuff. I'm turning into like that grumpy old guy that just gets offended and moody about everything.
Bro,
now I feel like
you're still in your 30s, man.
I know, man.
I don't have hope for you when you hit my age.
I went to get ice cream with my daughter last night, and it was like $20 for 2 ice creams thing, and I was totally like one of those like, bro, $20 for ice cream,
bro. You need
when I was your age, and then I wanted to jump off my balcony.
You need Mr. Softy around here.
Yeah, bro, as fuck, man. Goddamn, man.
Where'd you go? Did you go to one of these fucking designer ice cream places? Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Shit is way overpriced.
Yeah. Menchie's, I'm like, by the weight, did you weigh the kid? Like, what's happening right now?
Nigga, go to Publix down the street. Get the Publix branded ice cream.
And I could have bought all the toppings.
Yep.
In this, yeah. So
and you could have ice cream in fucking days.
This is what happens. This is why I need this, bro. I need the bitch. I had to complain about stuff I saw this week.
Yo, welcome back, everybody, to the Carpet Flipping Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with a drink of the day.
Yeah, man. We got. I love this week, man, because it's like my go-to on a just normal basis is always whiskey, bourbon, and ginger ale.
Yeah.
And so I like this sort of take on it. And it just adds a couple more ingredients, and it makes it really, really good. So we did the Irish whiskey ginger this week. In a shaker, you're gonna do generous with the mint leaves, or like 5 or 6 mint leaves in a shaker, a half ounce of simple syrup. Sean made the simple syrup from scratch this week.
Damn right. I ain't buying no more.
Ain't buying no more sugar water. So mint leaves, the half ounce of simple syrup, muddle that. Add ice, add half ounce of lemon juice, add a shot or 2 ounces of the whiskey, of an Irish whiskey. This week we did Teeling whiskey, which is the first time I'm trying this. I like it. Especially for the ginger ale thing, it's good. So add the whiskey, shake real well, pour into a rocks glass filled with ice, top off with ginger ale, and then garnish with a cracked mint leaf. Yeah, that's it. It's simple, straight to the point. I love it. Again, my go-to is normally like whiskey or bourbon, even tequila with the ginger ale.
Really?
Yeah, and so I like this, man. And it doesn't add too many more ingredients. Just add some mint, add that lemon juice in there. I like this a lot, man.
No, when I was deciding on the drink, I was thinking about that because this weekend I was looking for ginger ale in my house. I didn't have any, and for some reason I just had like the feeling like I needed to get some ginger ale. And the Fever Tree ginger ale.
It's off camera right now, but we use Fever Tree.
It's different, people. It's different.
It's different.
I've bought and listen. I've had like my kids try the Fever Tree ginger ale versus like the off brand or the
Canada Dry, or whatever the fuck
shit.
Yeah.
It shit is different.
Not the same. And Canada Dry used to be like, hey, if I didn't have Fever Tree, I could do the Canada Dry.
Yeah.
If when I do them side by side now, it's not even
the same.
Not even comparable. And it's funny, man, the amount of people now who tell me like I can't go back. Like when they tried some of the Fever Tree stuff, like even the ginger ale, like I have people who go like, I don't even do cocktails. I just do the Fever Tree ginger ale straight because I like ginger ale. And they're like, yeah, I can't have normal ginger ale anymore. So it's funny. Like try it. It's more expensive, but there's a reason it's more expensive. Yep. It definitely tastes better. I don't know what they do to it, but it's definitely a better process. Better
they put crack in it.
Yeah, whatever crack they do, their crack is better than Canada Dry's crack or Treppy, whatever. Was ginger ale got sued for shit. But not that long ago for
really?
Comedians. Oh gosh, some kind of fucking chemicals that they put in something. I can't remember which brand, but there was a couple of brands of ginger ale that got in this whole like crazy class action lawsuit. So Fever Tree wasn't one of those guys. So
all right, well, good.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I was thinking about that like all weekend, and I go like, man, this week I need to do something with ginger ale. And I was searching the internet, and I wish I did not make this up. This was a drink that I got off a website, and I do not have the website in front of me, so I apologize. But it had the ginger ale in it, and I'm just like, yep, that's the one. And I had not tried it before I got here, so I'm really glad it worked out.
Yeah, Irish whiskey ginger, man. Try that out. They say I love ginger ale, so yeah, anything with ginger ale, I'm in. So I like this a lot, man. I'm gonna add this.
You already
Dude,
extra?
You know what it is?
I already gave you extra in that one.
Did you? It doesn't feel
Not
that
that much extra.
I told you I have a lot to complain about this. Actually, it's funny. I'm not a person that, I should say I don't bitch. I do bitch. But I'm fairly positive for the most part and like happy-go-lucky and stuff. And I swear it has a lot to do with like I could just be an asshole on here.
Yeah.
So,
get it all out.
I get it all out.
Get it all out on a Wednesday evening.
But typically I'm like...
For all the people that got to deal with Juan on a regular basis, you welcome.
Yeah. Come deal with me on Thursday and Friday. I'm amazing. Monday, Tuesday, I start to get a little grumpy, and then half of Wednesday and until Wednesday evening. That's
right. All right, man. Comment of the week for me is going out to the passing of DJ Unk, Atlanta-based rapper. Really well known for his 2 hits, "Walk It Out" and the 2-step. DJ Unk, his real name is Anthony Leonard Platt. Okay. And he died in his sleep from a heart attack.
I didn't even know he died, man, till you mentioned that. Man.
Yeah, he died this week. That's from a heart attack. He was only 43 years old.
Was he morbidly obese or anything? I don't remember.
No, dude. No. He's just like a normal, normal dude. And so the reason why I gave it the carbon footprint is because when I saw the passing, right, it's like listening to his music and going like, oh man, that takes me back to like when that first came out and all the dances in the club.
Dude, that was my dance, dog. I used to do that shit all the time. Hey, I walk it out.
Yep. And the movie Stomp the Yard, which was one of my favorites.
One of my favorite scenes really in that movie is when they throw on that.
Yes. And so, but as I'm, it brought back those memories. But then more than that, bro, I'm going. So he left behind his wife, I think her name is Shakita, and 5 children. And I'm thinking to myself, man, and it reminded me of my own.
5 children?
5 children.
He wasn't pulling it out. God damn.
He wasn't walking it out on that.
He wasn't walking it out.
No, but like I'm 50. Right, so he's like in between your age and my age.
He's 43.
43.
God damn, that's so young.
It's so young, man, and it's just it's one of those things that reminds you that people still pass away at these early ages, and me at the ripe old age of 50, which some of you out there may think that I'm young, and some of you may think that I'm old, right? So, but it's just got me going like, man, I think the biggest thing for me, as far as like death is concerned, is not for me. It's like if I had died at 43, that's 7 years ago. My twins would have been 11, and my youngest, my youngest would have been what, like 5?
8? Oh, yeah.
No, 8. Sorry, 8. Yes.
Yeah.
And I just think about the time that I would have missed with them. And I think that is the most. It's like the biggest thing for me. Like that was. It just brought attention to the time that you have with the people that you love, and especially like your children. I've been working from home now for about almost 7 years.
Damn, has it been that long?
It's
bro?
been that long.
Oh wow, man.
And I had this conversation with my son the other day where I saw this chart. I think it was on Instagram. And where it was like it showed the time that you spend with your kids, and it had like this timeline.
Oh, I've seen it. And then as you get older, it just gets less and less and less. Yeah, I have seen this. Yep.
And so my son and I were talking about work and about me working from home, and I told him, and I go, hey man, like sometimes I do miss being in the office and the camaraderie of being around the folks in the office, right? But I go, man, I wouldn't trade that, because the last almost 7 years, I have been 100% available to you guys. When you guys come home from school, I'm there. I'm working, but I'm still there, right? If you guys need me, I can take a break. I can talk to you. I can ask you how your day was. I can find out, like immediately when you get home of whatever you have to kind of to spill. Like I'm there to receive that. And man, like At 7 years ago, I would have been 43, just like DJ Unk.
Just like, yeah, and you wouldn't have had.
So it's that time. So the time that I'm looking at now that I've cherished, right? The last 7 years that I've cherished wouldn't have been there. And I'm like, you know, it kind of, and it's also brought me to, and I told you this off air. Recently, my mom had asked me to start to like come over and clean her pool because the person that was doing it moved away, and then, you know, and at first I was like, you know, like get like Pinch a Penny to come over there and do that.
Yeah.
Right. And she's like, no, like they're too expensive. Right. And so I started to do that, and one of my sons comes with me every week. And over the past couple of months, it's become this thing where he and I get up, like he's learning to drive, so he drives over, we stop at Dunkin' Donuts, we go to my mom's house. We probably hang there for about 2 hours. We have donuts, we talk about the entire week, and it was like this thing that initially that I was like, like I don't really want to do that. You can pay somebody to do that, not me. Has just become this time that me and my son have with my mother every 2 weeks.
Priceless, bro.
It really is, bro. And so
the minute you told me that, man, it's funny. I thought like, man, that should be the carbon, you know, like in the spirit of the pod, like the impact that's making. I mean, you, your son, your mom, like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, my mom's in her 70s, and by the way, if she died tomorrow, I would be sad as fuck, right? But nobody's gonna go, oh, she was so young. People die like the normal age is like between 70 and 80.
Now it's 70, yeah.
Yeah, so like if someone dies and she's in her upper 70s, man, she just turned 77. God bless her, right? Like if she died tomorrow, God forbid, knock on wood, right? Like I don't want that to happen.
No, of course not. Yeah.
And she's in great shape and she's in good health, and I'm super grateful for that. But if she passed tomorrow, it would not be this tragic thing that she died.
See that coming, like, or
exactly
too young, or I mean too young, but also like
too young because I know her,
right?
But if somebody goes, oh, how old was she? And I go 77, they will go, oh, well, you know, yeah. Like
that's gonna turn.
That's what happens
soon. But yeah, for us, it's not. Dude, I'm really bad about that, man. So like listening to you talk about that when we were off air, when you were telling me you were doing that, it's one of those things that I'm like very hyper aware of. I'm really shitty about spending time with
me too, bro.
With family, and then and it was one of those like when you do it, it's fun, and you have and don't get me wrong, our families can be frustrating, like your parents can be frustrating. Yep. Everybody is, right? Like, but you know, like I immediately thought of like there's conversations you guys are probably having and things that you're laughing at over, you know, some donuts and coffee and, you know, whatever, like they're just silly, or, you know, just catching up with the week, and it's like those things are so priceless. Even your son is gonna look back one day and be like, oh yeah, with my grandmother, like I spent so much time, I probably got to know her better, or I probably got to know her sense of humor better, I got to know, and it's one of those things I think we take for granted. And you know, it's the whole cliche of like you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Yes.
And I struggle with that a lot with just I guess making time to do that more. It's something that I want to be better about, but it's like I don't put the effort into being better about. But I am very conscious that I'm fucking terrible at it.
And I'm and I'm with you, bro. And that's why this whole like cleaning the pool thing, like it just forced me to do it, where initially when it first started, I was just like, I'll do it. In my head, bro, I was like, I'll do it for a little while, and then I'll find some shit, and, you know, we'll hire somebody else to do it. But no, like I've already decided, bro. Like I'm never gonna stop.
I have a pool cleaner, an automatic pool one, if you want one here soon, coming available.
But no, like I'm never gonna stop, bro. I'm never gonna stop.
No, you shouldn't. Because
of what it's become.
Not even about the pool, dude.
It's not about that anymore, bro.
No,
it's really not. And we've been able to have some really good conversations, some really good laughs. She knows and it's funny, man. You think that people don't give a shit, or that maybe like it doesn't matter. They want to know what's going on in your life.
Yeah, of course, especially your mom.
Yeah, bro. And it's the 2 hours of just bullshit that now she knows more about what's going on in my life.
Have you seen a change in your son in how he talks to her?
My sons are very good about their interactions, and so and they're very sort of open.
Okay.
So I don't know if I see the change, but I do know that every time a weekend is coming up, like he's asking me, like, "Hey, is this week let me go to grandma's?"
So he's looking forward to it.
Yeah, so like it's never like, oh, we gotta go do this again.
That's good.
It's never that.
It's good.
And then plus he's
a teenage boy, or going to be a sort of entering adulthood here soon. Man, he could have that whole he thinks he's too cool for that.
And no, it's not. It's not that.
Awesome that he I don't want to say that he recognizes what it means, because it's probably not. He's probably not even thinking about it that far ahead, because it doesn't register to him the same way it registers to us. But that he's just willing to like put in the time like that. Like that's going to be something he looks back on one day, man, and goes like, man, I'm so glad I didn't realize at the time, but what that meant. But I'm really glad I did it. And I take, because he doesn't have to tag along, right? Like, yeah, he could just be like, all right, you're on your own this week, Dad. Like,
no, he could, but he's taking the opportunity because, so first of all, he's the guy that wants to, if you're going somewhere, it doesn't matter where it is, he wants to go, right?
I love that about him. That's awesome.
But the other thing is, he's learning to drive still, right? And he hasn't gotten his license yet. He's really close. And so, we as parents are going like, yo, you need to put in the time. So he looks forward to the driving experience, to our interaction, to going to see his grandmother, that interaction, and then the drive home, and I'll take him on different roads and stuff, take him on highway. And so he's getting that experience too, and he's like gung-ho about it. So it's like a whole Sunday morning experience with me and my son, and then my mom is involved. So it's really fucking cool, man.
Dude, you know what's that's made me realize? We've talked about this off air about your son and how he likes to be sort of in the mix and doesn't like to miss things. Like even if you run into the grocery store, he just wants to go. Yep. It's made me actually think about a lot about, because I'm very much like I have like the FOMO, like I want to be where people are. I want to, especially people that I care about or that I like to be around, right? And so like I thought back to when I was a kid, and I was thinking of like, I talk a lot about like I did a lot of shit with like my uncles and stuff like that, and I remember like it could be like the junkyard, like, oh, we gotta go do this thing that was like fucking manual labor, it's gonna be miserable, it's hot, it's thing, and I'd be like, I want to go, I'm in. Like, and it was never about the thing. It was like, I want to go because I know we're gonna talk shit, you're probably gonna get frustrated, and it's gonna be funny, I'm gonna learn something, like it was like, I don't want to miss out on that. And I have zero regrets about doing that. And I have like awesome memories about doing shit like that, or just things that I've learned, that I've carried with me into adulthood that I've been able to pass on to my kids. Like, and it's funny, without even realizing I was that kid too. Like, I didn't like to miss shit. I'm like, even if people in the neighborhood are like, yo, we're going to go ride our bikes up here, I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, but I'm in. It's like, I don't care. Yeah, it was like, and I think just putting yourself in these situations that seemingly aren't designed for you to get something out of, you will get something out. It's like a selfish way to look at it, but I think just through time or the time passing, you've realized like, had I not done that, I would have missed out on, and there's so many things or whatever that I wouldn't have had. And I think, again, he's not looking at it this profound now, but I wonder, one day if he looks back on that and just goes, man, if I'd never done that, I wouldn't have done this or seen this or had this conversation with her. Like,
he'll be talking to somebody just like this, bro.
Yeah.
And because now that you say
I used to go with my dad, and fucking we went to fucking Papa John's to go pick up a pizza, and we had this conversation, whatever it was. Like, it'll be the thing that you don't even think he remembers.
That he remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. So shout out to DJ Unk. Gone too soon, but thank you for the reminder of how precious life is, and how we need to take advantage of the time that we have here, because it's not long.
Yeah, dude, and I feel like he was so young. I'm hearing so much lately about, I know the life expectancy has dropped in the last couple of years.
Has it really?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that had to do with like obviously the COVID thing happened and a bunch of other shit. Like there's like factors in there, but it has dropped, not by a lot, but it's dropped, and it's the first time in history that it like went down. I'm almost positive. Like But I'm hearing more and more young people getting these like terminal illnesses or having heart issues and that sort of than ever before. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention but I feel like even people like we know or that I know that I'm hearing have health issues at a very young age. It's really bizarre. And I know there's all these conspiracy theories about like whether or not people got vaccinated or whether somebody got COVID and maybe that contribute. Like I don't know what it is. It's just. Well, I'm just noticing it more, and I don't know if it's my age. I don't. Yeah.
I will tell you this, bro. So, as far as DJ Unk is concerned, in 2009, he was hospitalized for a heart attack. In 2009,
at 27, so doing the math,
15 years ago, right? So,
yeah. I mean, or
16 years ago.
I don't want to fucking accuse somebody of something they didn't do, but
no, I'm just saying. So he was hospitalized for that, which back then he was like, yeah, this is probably brought on by my nonstop touring, my poor eating habits, my drinking,
drug
smoking,
use, yeah,
right. So. According to his wife, she said that like now, like that he was clean. Like this is not like drug use.
I'm saying back then, yeah.
But maybe back then, and again, who knows? Who knows what his medical history was, or his family's medical history? So, who knows?
Yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and like you said, it's weird because we, like you said, this make you think about like things. And shit like this happens all the time, and some of us are just like we learn the lesson in the moment for that like week, and then we don't really carry it forward or make any changes to our life that are like permanent and everlasting.
Yeah.
And one of these will be the one, right? Like maybe this is the one for you where you just go, fuck, I need to stick to this because this guy, like the way you described it earlier.
I mean, before even hearing this, I remember, because like I said, I had told my wife in the beginning when we talked about it, I was like, oh man, like I don't want to be doing this I don't want to be cleaning pools, right?
Yeah,
That's not what I want to do. But within the last, say, like month or so, I kind of revisited it, and I'm like, and I already said, I'm like, no, I'm not stopping. This is more than cleaning pools. Like this is not about the pool.
No,
at all. Not even a little bit.
Nope.
And
you're gonna write a book one day called The Pool, bro.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Be
right?
About this, it has nothing to do with the
nothing
swimming pool.
It's not about the fucking pool, but it was the thing that made me do it. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that shit.
Yeah. Do it. It's like what we were talking about last week about doing the pod, like what it led to. Like the pool thing will be like what does this seemingly really simple thing that you didn't want to do, what does that contribute? And right now it's like all this extra time is priceless, and it doesn't matter how much you could pay or the time you save or whatever. Like what are you going to do with that is more valuable than like you spending time with your mom, your son spending time with their grandmother, like all that, just like, you spending time with your son, it's just like everything about it, man. I think it's cool, man. I don't think you should ever give that up. I think you should do that till fucking you guys can't anymore, man.
That's right.
Yeah. Ride that out. Because again, this is going to be one of those things your son is going to be talking about with his kids one day. Like, oh, we used to clean my grandmother's pool. And, there's going to be stories that he's going to get out of it. And, experiences make people more interesting, no matter what they are, bro. Like if you think about like everybody you like hanging out with or people you like being around, it's like they always have stories and like an interaction about really simple shit. Sometimes it could be like, yo, I visited this magnificent place, but sometimes it's something as simple as I went to clean my grandma's pool and this shit happened, and it could be a fucking hour-long laugh with their buddies over some story, and it's gonna be the thing that you didn't even know at the time was gonna be that funny or that impactful or that profound or that whatever it is, man. Like, I think there's so much that you don't even know yet that you're gonna get out of this.
Exactly.
And you will. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
All right, man. What you got,
bro? I got fucking. I don't even know what I'm giving it to as a name. I guess I would say the release or the executive order that's been signed. I know we're gonna get into like there's so many, but declassifying the JFK, the MLK, the RFK documents, I think will have sort of a long lasting impact on history, and also, like there's so many ways this could go, right? We could get nothing, and it's like, oh, there's really nothing there.
I saw that in the movie.
Yeah, and it'll just be like, oh, it's nothing. Everything that's come out, we already kind of knew or figured, or it isn't as salacious as we thought it would be.
So this is one of Trump's executive orders, right?
Yeah, where he's.
So has it been released yet, or is it?
No, it has like one of them. Both there's different timelines for each, but I think it goes from 30 to 45 days. So we'll know
so in the next couple of months,
mid-February. Yeah. I think with this is that these are things like JFK and all that. There's been, obviously widespread speculation.
Oh
about
my God! How many fucking documentaries and movies have been made about this?
And we go, you guys are full of shit and you didn't give us the real information, right? And it does nothing. Or we just go, oh yeah, we knew it, and then it gets put to rest. Or we go, we knew it, and now we know our government or whoever is capable or whatever did this shit. I just think that there's gonna be something from this where you can either put shit to bed, or it'll sort of spark either a distrust in government or a trust in government because they're releasing this now, and maybe you can hold them more accountable. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like it could go so many different ways.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we all know fucking MLK was killed by the FBI, probably. I think we all know JFK was probably killed by the CIA or had something to do with it. I think we know RFK. Same, I think we all think that. Does this confirm? Or if this doesn't confirm that, do we just go, nah, this is full of shit and it just rides forever? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Dude. Again, there's been so many documentaries, man, and a lot of times, with the whole the government involvement in killing these guys, if that's true, it makes sense. At least the documentaries that you watch on this stuff, you go like, oh yeah, I get it.
Kind of adds up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you said, it adds up. Now, I don't know if it's the government. What is the angle from Trump that he's going, yeah, release it now? Because is it just to go, oh, the people need to hear the truth? Or is there some other angle to go like, I'm the guy that gave you the truth?
I think so. I think that's it. I mean, I think everything we know about Trump is he's a very me, ego. I want to be the savior. I want to be this good guy. So I think it's more of, I was the guy who gave you this information. Even if it's fucking useless. Even if it means nothing. It's like, oh, we have it. Or even if it just, hey, everything you guys think, yeah, that's true.
It's right.
And it's the worst kept secret ever, and we all kind of knew, and it just confirms what we already know.
And I wonder if that's it, right? I wonder if if when he was in office, if he's looking through this stuff and he goes, well, yeah, we've all seen this shit on TV. Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah, so why not
just fucking put it out?
Yeah. Dude, because does the public interest in or the public trust in can it get any lower? I go, if it comes out that the CIA was involved in killing JFK, do people feel less trustful of God? I think we all have little trust of the government already, dude, right?
I think you just go, yeah,
makes sense.
You knew it.
Yeah. Fucking Martin Luther King. We've heard every angle of that before, and we've heard.
Like when he was, I don't even remember, bro. When he was in my mind, I go, oh yeah, the government killed him. I don't even know who killed them. Who is responsible?
Martin Luther King. You mean?
Yeah. So JFK is Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Right, but I think after so many fucking documentaries and whatever, you go oh yeah, the Lee Harvey Oswald shit is that was bullshit.
I'll tell you right now, because Martin Luther King was damn, I should know that guy. That guy's name.
Isn't it Farrakhan?
Imagine. Fucking we going to hell. Cause I remember he was killed in Atlanta, but I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Because the guy got 99 years in prison or something crazy like that. Here we go. James Earl Ray, a fugitive from Missouri, was arrested on June 8th at London Heathrow Airport, extradited to the United States, and charged with the crime.
A fugitive from where?
James Earl Gray, a fugitive from the Missouri State Penitentiary, was arrested on June 8, 1968 at London's Heathrow Airport. Extradited to... Yeah, you're going to tell me this fucking guy who was already in prison and escaped from prison and and happens to get his hands on a sniper rifle and shoots a thing. Yeah, the FBI killed MLK. Fuck
and
y'all.
What was his name?
His name was James Earl Ray.
So he was black?
No, he's a white guy.
Really?
Yeah, maybe he...
James Earl?
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
That sounds like a really black name.
Yeah, maybe he was mad that all the black dudes took his name, and he's like, "Yo, I had a good thing going. I got to start fucking all you guys up." But he was he died in prison in 1998, but was convicted of the assassination of MLK at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis.
Yeah.
So he fled to London and was captured there. Ray was convicted in 1969. Also, you think in 1968, the American government was tracking down a guy who killed a civil rights leader. MLK was causing nothing but problems.
Yeah.
They tracked him down in London. They'd have been like, we can't find him.
Yep.
Bro,
who killed? We don't even know who killed Biggie.
We don't even. Yo, Tupac was killed on the Vegas Strip, and we don't know who killed him. And y'all telling me in 1968 you found this guy in London? No. Fuck you.
So listen, we're gonna need whoever the president is in like 2040.
Yeah,
is finally gonna release the papers on Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, right. We're gonna get that one. Let's go. Barack didn't do it, even though it's fucking bro. Understand the assignment. It was too soon.
It was too soon.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, you gotta wait like 50 years.
So and then RFK, which I'm gonna assume the RFK stuff was tied to the dad, and then
I would assume so.
Who gets at the current RFK is what I want to know, because he causing a lot of noise too, fucking with these cereal companies and everybody else. Somebody from Kellogg's about to have this motherfucker off.
Mr. Quaker is about to get his ass.
Fucking Tony the Tiger is about to fuck up. The new RFK is about to get real.
They'll blame it on the guy that plays the fucking mascot.
Yo, you're so right though with the dude that killed MLK. Is like we don't know his name because we all just go. Yeah, the government.
Yeah, the government did that shit. Yeah, he's causing too much problems.
Yeah. Dude, there's and it's overwhelming. Like you hear all the shit. Like if you've seen all the facts or the documentaries laid out about the MLK thing, it is overwhelming. Like they did a shitty job of hiding it, but it's like nobody gave a fuck at the time because they're like, is that dude trying to get these people to share the same water fountain? Fuck that guy.
And did it? What was it? Was it him that that even like the Muslim community? I guess like the American black Muslim community kind of went against them too.
Yeah, because Malcolm X. Malcolm X was very So he didn't make friends in a lot of places, bro. So
makes sense.
So I'm very curious to see what it is. So I made him a comment because I'm like, man, this is one of those things where we're like, or I'm gonna be grossly disappointed, but stay tuned in the next fucking
like you said, we'll see. But you know what, here's the other thing, bro. I think that no matter what comes out of it, it's gonna be news for 2 weeks,
and then we'll move on,
and then we'll move on to eggs are fucking $7,
aliens eggs are still $7 by the way. We lost everything else. Fucking eggs are still $7. Embryos have gotten more expensive. So you better start fulfilling some campaign promises.
Goddamn right. Listen, a couple other things that I saw this week, man, was he banned trans service members. So transgender service members. Yeah.
So wait. Are you not allowed to serve at all if you're even a little like unsure about what you think you are, or is it like a don't ask, don't tell? Like what are we?
Well, that's the thing. Like trans to me would be like you're going through the procedure, right? Like you have to go through. I don't know. Like,
can I just be like I'm trans because I think I'm a girl, or I feel like I'm a girl?
No.
I don't know what the. I'm ignorant. I don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. So am I. But it kind of brought me back to so. I served in the military in the Marine Corps from 1994 to 1998, and during that time, we had a policy. So we're under Clinton at this time.
Yeah,
there was a policy in place, and I don't know that it was Clinton that put it in, or that was Bush Senior. I can't remember who put it in place.
I think it was Clinton, but I think it was an accident. I think it was him telling Hillary not to ask him about the interns. And it was misinterpreted.
He would have to incriminate himself. But we had a policy, man, in the military. There was a don't ask, don't tell. And so it was literally like, yo, you could be gay, right? And come into the military, you could serve. Just don't make that shit public.
So,
and if you made it public, they could kick you out.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So if you said something, they could kick you out because you said you were gay, but you didn't have the obligation to disclose that you were gay.
Correct.
Dude, that's so fascinating. So because you said you're 50, you lived in a time where it was like, don't tell us you're gay, to we've legalized gay marriage and all that shit, to we've sort of come full circle now and
now we're going back.
This is the next iteration of that, like, of, hey, just don't tell us you're trans, or just don't be trans while you're here, or just fuck it if you're unsure or your thing, you're just not allowed in. Now, what is the justification for saying, hey, we don't want to allow trans in? Because like anything else, is it?
I think part of it is the medical
that's
portion of it, where he's going like, no, like taxpayer dollar shouldn't go to that. That's part of it.
Also.
Right? But here's the other thing.
Okay, go ahead.
There are trans service members that have now served like, half their careers in the military, and then they're going like, well, what the fuck you mean I can't serve anymore? I've been serving, these are like officers, man, higher ranking enlisted people, man. So it's not like, yo, we've been in this, I've been serving my country for 10 plus years, and all of a sudden you're gonna go, no, I can't serve. Like, this is my career. So
and then are you obligated to disclose the fact that you're trans? What if you're someone who's like,
if you're like closet trans,
right?
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that's
if you're
closet trans, you're probably fine, right? But if you don't have to be closet, right, then maybe you're out. But I know there's already a lawsuit against I don't know if it's against him, against the government to block this. So there's already things out there. But to go back to like when I was in, bro, I gotta tell you this story. And I may have told you this before, and shit, I may have told this on here before. So if you guys heard this before, like, forgive me. So during the whole like don't ask, don't tell era, there was a guy that I served with. That
I feel like I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
There's a guy that I served with that there was like a rumor, and this guy was kind of like, he was like I don't know. He was flamboyant in the respect of just like not like feminine flamboyant. He was just a flamboyant guy, period. And
so like you talking like Ricky Ricardo, not Elton John?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was just like, he was like the loud guy, the funny guy, the right. So and then there was I don't know, there was a party or something, and there was like a rumor that came out that this dude might be gay.
Okay.
Bro, we are in this morning meeting, and the warrant officer in this morning meeting addresses this guy straight up and goes, and man, I forget what the fuck exactly he said to him, but he was like, yo, like, we're hearing like this shit about you, and again, this is during the don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
And basically, like, he said something to him to the effect of just like, yo, like, what the fuck are these rumors going around, right? And the guy, being himself, and he's a funny guy, and he goes, sir, it is to my understanding that you cannot ask me those questions. And so,
why does that sound like me?
And so we kind of like all kind of chuckle in there, and the warrant officer at the time gets fucking stone faced, and he goes, hey, and I don't remember, hey, Corporal so and so. He goes,
Corporal Bottom.
He goes, don't fuck around. Do you suck dick? And now everybody in the fucking meeting is like, is just like it's not funny no more.
Oh, I would have lost it. Yo, in a formal setting to go, corporal, thing, do you suck dick? I'd be like, yo, you said that shit with a straight face. Dead.
Not in 1996, bro. And again, man, you gotta also remember this, bro. The Marine Corps, I can't speak for the other branches.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps is a very masculine.
Oh, I can
fuck, man. I'm fucking, listen, if you're watching the YouTube,
you're repping today.
I'm repping today.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very masculine, like, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
his response should have been like, "Sir, I'm not in the Navy. Of course, I don't suck dick."
Yes. That would have been a fucking perfect answer in 96. I don't know about today.
I'm not a seaman.
Sir, are you referring to me as a seaman right now? But no, man, and then so everything goes fucking stone face, and then the guy replies with like, "No, sir, I'm not." And then he goes, "Okay, good. I don't want," and then he looks around the room and he goes, "I don't want to hear another fucking word about this."
Dude, that must mean, like, I wonder people just kept telling him, like, yo, I'm uncomfortable, so-and-so's fucking gay and he's in my barracks or the bathroom or whatever. Like,
I don't know.
Because if he's saying, like, I don't want to hear about that shit again, like, tells me that he must have been, and he's like,
he must have been getting it.
I have to sort of address it, but not address it. I don't give a fuck. I just don't want to deal with this shit no more.
Yep.
Like, yeah. That, dude, what a strange time. And it's really weird because the trans thing is like the like you were going back to the medical thing before. Like, I don't know why we give a fuck, and maybe it's, I've never been in the military, right? But maybe it's like, hey, I have this person next to me, and there's something that goes along with that of like, I don't want this person that's confused, or maybe I don't want this person that's going through this thing in their life. Like, I don't know enough about like what they're going through and then what you guys are going through there. But I go back to like, is it just because we don't want to spend the money on the, hey, we don't want to pay for your transition, I guess would be the other thing. But like, couldn't you just say, hey, you could be trans, we're not covering that shit?
It wasn't just that. I think he was saying, he also mentioned the readiness of the military. So it's almost like, not only do we want to pay for that shit, but we don't want you to not be ready because of some transition or condition that you're going through.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, I mean, listen.
Doesn't the military pay for titties if you're a female soldier, though?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I think the military, won't they cover like cosmetics? And I'm not saying we should cover trans. That's not my point. But I guess my point is like, I think I've heard of people saying like, if you have like insecurities or some kind of like, I don't want to call it mental health, but it's like a depression or whatever that's like,
right. So if you're a woman
performing to,
if you're a woman with small,
and you have low self-esteem and you have small
right.
breasts, and I think they will pay, or at least I've heard something like you pay for the implant, but the surgery's free because the military doctors are performing it because they already have plastic surgeons who are already fucking replacing, like doing all these. I've heard this from multiple people that they've gotten breast implants or other kind of cosmetic surgeries in the military for next to nothing because of whatever policy that they have. And
I guess that to my knowledge, at least when I was in, I didn't know anybody that got like cosmetic surgeries. The biggest thing that I remember people getting, obviously, and if you had like major injuries,
don't go to the Marines, bro.
Not many.
They go to the Air Force.
Yeah. Not many, bro. Or at least, again, I'm just speaking from when I was in, right?
Yeah.
It was always like, it was always funny. I always laugh because I go, there was so few women. It was like, even if you were remotely good looking, you were like off the charts hot.
Yeah, because you're elevated by your surroundings.
Yeah. So I didn't know anybody that had any like cosmetic surgery like that. So I don't know that. Like, I can't speak to that.
Bro. Also, I don't like. Is it more patriotic to pay with my tax dollars for titties or for you to get a dick if you want one? I'm torn.
Depends on what you're into.
Depends on what you're Yeah, I don't. What would Kid Rock do in this scenario? Something tells me Kid Rock would be okay with the titties, but probably not okay with the dick. However, would Kid Rock be in favor of a new vagina in the world if it was a guy making his way to the other side?
I don't know.
I don't know. But you know what? I don't know how I don't know enough about this to know how I feel about it. I guess I would say my gut reaction is, why do we give a fuck? I don't know why we care. I don't give a shit what people do with their personal life. Does it impede in your ability to perform the job and to stand side by side with the person next to you and not put their life at danger and all that shit? Like, that's all I give a fuck about. Everything else you do, I don't give a shit what you do in your personal time after that, bro. No, I don't care what you want me to call you. I don't care. Like, that's cool. Do. Can you do this job that I'm asking you to do here in the times that I need you to do that job? And if the answer is yes, then I don't give a fuck about everything else, bro. Yeah, I'm in. I don't give a shit. Yeah, and I don't know why. It's really strange. I'm actually kind of a little surprised that he passed this because he won the election already. And so, like, I know this was like a big talking point in the election, and it's like a lot of the reason the Democrats lost is because this is like an issue that, like, I think we're all, I don't want to say we're sick of hearing about it. I think it just affects so little of us. And it's not to like minimize the meaning of it to like a certain group of people, but it's like it doesn't affect enough of us. And so it shouldn't be as big of a talking point as it is right now. Right. And I think it dominated so much conversation that people were
making commercials about
that. Yeah, and we're kind of all like, bro, I don't even know anybody like that. Most people are probably like, I don't even know anyone like that. Why the fuck are we talking about this? Can we talk about going back to the thing before? I know the carton of eggs. Can we go back to that? Yeah. Can we go back? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Not for nothing, bro. I know one person.
Yeah.
Now, granted, listen, I'm kind of an introvert. Right, so like I don't know. I'm not this social butterfly.
No, but I think I
don't know a ton of people.
I think most people wouldn't even know someone. I think you are in the minority of knowing a person that's going through that, right? Yeah. And we both know that same person. And I think I happen to know a couple. I think I'm in the minority. Like, I just happen to know a couple. To your point of like, because of the circles that I've been involved in, or like, you know, the exposure that I've had to certain groups or whatever. Like, that's the only reason, but. It affects, in the grand scheme of things, of the 350 million Americans, right? It affects 1% of us, right? And so it's like, it became such a big talking point to like the Democrats. And I think most of the people were like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck about that. You guys do whatever you want. Can we talk about this other shit over here that's actually impacting more of us? And again, that's not to minimize like the people who are affected by this. It's just that it affects so little but it became such a big talking point.
Right.
I'm surprised that he would even include it in any executive order to do anything, because it's like, it doesn't matter.
Right. Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. Like, is it costing us that much more money from a taxpayer's perspective? You don't need to pander anymore. You know, it's like really strange. Even I saw like a lot in the executive orders, he reversed a lot of
DEI shit.
Yeah. And a lot of other like programs that went along with it. And it's funny, man, as like, I can so see that as like, and you've worked in these environments before, is like you work at a place and maybe you're the new guy, or a new guy comes in and they're like, just turn that off. Like, we don't need that. And then they realize like it's a little more complicated. And then they go, well, hey, this other shit happened and this thing's collapsing and it's becoming like almost detrimental to even running the organization or running this program, their system, and then they go, oh fuck, turn it back on. I didn't realize it was affected. It's like, yeah, because you talked out of your ass, like out of the gate, without understanding all of the nuance. And there seems to be a lot of things that he did where it's like, it's well intentioned, where it's like, hey, shut all this shit off. I feel like we're wasting money. But then it affects all these other little programs that they were like, oh, I didn't realize it was all tied to this.
Yep.
I wonder. Like that, I understand, I guess, and I don't understand why the fuck you were still talking about the trans thing. And again, that's not, hey, I don't care about you trans people. It's, why are we still picking on this shit? Just move the fuck on and go to things that actually move the needle and let them be.
Right, like how many, you know, it'd be different if you go, oh, well, half of the, you know, the service members are trans and it's costing us X amount of dollars in medical expenses, and we don't want to deal with that anymore. Dude, but you said it's fucking a minuscule.
Do you think even 1% of service members, and I'm sure
I don't think so.
And even if it's 1% of it, bro, when I look at what we spend on military things, I'm like, do I give a fuck about that? Probably not. Does it? If that person getting that treatment makes them a better soldier, right, or it makes them better at their job, I would almost be like, good.
Yeah.
Well, let them have it. Like, Are they more effective at their job because they're more comfortable and their self-esteem is better and they got the help that they needed and they're in a better mental space and whatever? Like, cool. Okay, can we go back to fucking blowing up people that we want to steal oil from? Can we go back to that? Let's get back to the important shit.
Get that oil money.
Get that oil money.
Oil money. But yeah, man, I totally agree with that, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, this week,
Yeah.
NFL. We got to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Man. Eagles, Commanders,
Yep.
Kansas City Bills. Starting off with the Eagles, Commanders, bro. Dude, first of all, the Eagles destroyed them.
Yeah, that
And
was wild.
you know that was like the big story I think coming into the week was the Commanders with Jaden Daniels coming in. We talked about him last week.
Yeah.
And Philly pushed them around. Philly's defense looks crazy.
Yep.
That whole tush push shit is unstoppable. At least from Philly's tush push.
Yeah.
Because to switch over to the next game, I watched the Bills try to do that.
It didn't work.
Yeah,
So,
it didn't work.
and in fact, it might have cost them the game at the end.
Yeah, bro. But did you see?
I mean, the questionable spot, but it might have cost them the game at the end.
True.
Yeah.
But I watched, dude. Do you see when Philly does that tush push, the entire offense is in the middle. It's just like they're lining up and they're going, we're gonna do this. Stop it if you can, and you can't.
And that's how you know you're good at something. It's like, hey, we're going to tell you we're going to do. The whole stadium knows what we're going to do. Everybody in the opposite team knows. If you can't and you still can't stop.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Bills tried it, but I saw they left their receivers out on the edges, and I'm like, why?
You're getting too cute. You're overthinking.
Yeah, what are you doing the fake?
Oh,
like
right.
you know your guy's gonna fucking do it. Like
That's what it is. You're overthinking it. You're like, oh, if I leave these guys out here, I could leave the potential open for fake. I can make them second guess this. Philly is like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it if you can.
and no one can.
And no one can. Yeah, and there's been a couple teams this season that have done it. I want to say, was it Kansas City that was one of them? Philly lost a couple games, and it was the teams that basically figured that out.
Like really that stopped them.
Yeah, and it's not to say, but dude, the tush push thing has to. If you keep the game close, right, and there's a lot of 4th and goal and 4th and 1 or whatever opportunity, obviously it becomes like a really big part of the game. It's such a small part in the grand scheme of things. Of if they run 57 plays a game and 4 of them are a tush push, and maybe they're at the right time, like okay, I still think. And it's easier said than done. It's one-dimensional. If you just stop the run for them or you get ahead of them early on, now you go, well, now they have to pass the ball. They can't run. And maybe Saquon negates that a little bit because Saquon goes off on these 50, 60-yard runs. Like, He doesn't need to wear you down. But if you're a team and you just go, I'm just going to commit to the run, I'm just going to force you to pass, and we'll sell out on playing run defense, I'm really curious, and Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator, so I'm really curious to see from Kansas City like what he does. Like we were saying before, Kansas City has a roster of head coaches who are all coordinators.
3.
Yeah,
all 3.
And Spagnuolo is a head coach talent.
Correct.
And,
that has chosen not to.
Right, and has been a defensive coordinator now and is one of the best, if not the best, defensive coordinator in the NFL. So I'd be really curious to see like how he game plans for this, because I think what will happen more times than not is like you go, cool, I'm going all in on the run. If Jalen Hurts beats me with A.J. Brown and passing to whoever, I'll live with that. But you're not going to run for 7 touchdowns. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
We're just going to go. I'm really curious. Like,
but they have A.J. Brown, and then who's the other kid?
Yeah, they have the Devontae Adams. No,
not Devontae Adams.
Devontae Smith, sorry.
Smith, yes.
Yeah. They have a great receiving core. That's not a knock on the receiving core. They don't beat you passing. And their passing game is opened up by their run game, right? Like the play action works, everything else works. But if your run's not working, and now I make Jalen Hurts a drop back quarterback who's always in the shotgun or in the pistol, and he's got to do that, like, can you beat me? It's because if I from a strategy standpoint too, if I'm Kansas City, is this one of those scenarios where if you win the coin toss, you take the ball because you go, I believe in Patrick Mahomes and I believe we're going to score a touchdown first.
Okay.
And for that first drive, Philly can run the ball. But if you don't, and Patrick Mahomes comes back and puts up another 7, and now you're down 14-0, and you go, and it's the second quarter, and now you're like, well, fuck, I got to pass the ball. Like, I'd be curious to see, like, are you the same Philadelphia when these teams, when you have to play from behind, when you don't have control of the game, when you can't control the clock, where you know, and listen, and that's not to take anything away from them. They fucking ran over Washington, and it looked like a high school team playing against an NFL team. It was so bad. In terms of like the defensive line, you know, we talked about this a few weeks ago about like the difference between like an O-line, a defensive line from like Alabama versus like a lower tier school, right? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, bro.
It was so bad. And also, we say this to say they're so bad. Washington still put up 20-something points in a playoff game, which is normally enough to win, right? So we're giving, I think Washington's offense could have done more, but they did enough. Their defense, though,
they just got torched.
They just got torched. And Dan Quinn is a defensive coach, so I'd be curious to see next year he comes back, and I expect that team to be better.
They also had turnovers, right?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
And dude, the biggest thing from that game, the Eagles Commanders game, was I learned a rule that I'd never fucking heard before. When the Eagles were at the goal line, and they were going to do the tush push,
and they kept jumping off sides,
I've
never seen that either.
The referee fucking comes out and goes, if you keep doing this, we're gonna award them the touchdown.
And it's funny, man, when I was watching it, I was going, yeah, why wouldn't you keep doing that if you're Washington? Like, I'm just gonna try to time it and jump over because there's nothing for me to do.
And that's what they were doing. They weren't sort of going offsides on purpose.
No, they weren't trying to be assholes.
Trying to time it.
Yeah, I get that. Because they're like, I can't stop it any other way.
I wonder how many times they would have allowed it to go before they would have awarded the touchdown. That's the part I didn't get.
I kind of wish we would have seen it. I've never heard that. I've never heard a referee when he goes like, hey, they've been warned that they can allow. Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever heard that in my entire life.
Yeah, dude, I've been watching football since I was a kid, man, and I've never heard
I didn't even know you could do that. But I do remember going, it's funny, and it makes sense in the grand scheme of the rule things. I remember going, the ball is so close. Why wouldn't you keep doing that if you're Washington? It's not like you're giving them an advantage at this point.
No.
And so I went, and when the guy said that, I went, oh, that makes sense because of what I just thought. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, that just...
The ball's already at the 1 inch line. Like, how fucking... And every penalty is like half distance to the goal.
Dude, I forget that, like, most people... I shouldn't say most people, but I'm one of those people who immediately thinks of, like, if you give me a rule, I immediately think of how can I use that to my advantage or leverage that rule in a way that like works against them, or, you know, like, it's... And so when I saw that, I went, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't Washington just keep trying to time that, and I'll just make this irritating and annoying, and at worst you get into Philly's head, or, you know, like, you can kind of make it ugly. Fumbles, right? You just keep making them have to run the play, and eventually somebody's going to fuck up, hopefully, right? And then when the referee said that, I went, they've thought about this. You know what I mean? It's like, because my dumb ass was like, yeah, fuck you. Keep doing that. Yeah, it's, and you just go, oh yeah, there's other people thinking about it this way as well. Like, I'm not the only asshole thought of, like, oh yeah, I'll just keep doing that shit.
So who you got, man? Super Bowl prediction winner. Give it to me.
Bro, it's like fucking, it's tough to keep picking against Philadelphia because they keep doing this, but I gotta go Chiefs. I trust Andy Reid. I trust Patrick Mahomes. I trust that team. They've been there. Spagnuolo. Yeah. I think if it comes down to a one possession game, right, or the game is within one possession in the fourth quarter, I just trust the team that's been there a lot.
Dude, I'm glad you said that. So I saw this stat today, as a matter of fact, where it was looking at playoffs and Super Bowls, right? Where and it's just for quarterbacks. The quarterbacks that were down 7 points or less with the ball last. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady was in like the 40 percentile. Drew Brees was like 50%. There was somebody else who was around that same 50%.
And these guys are all-time greats.
All-time greats.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is 100%. If he has the ball last and his team is down by a touchdown or less,
guaranteed to beat you.
He's guaranteed to fucking beat you. So if you're Philly, you know, I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to beat the champ, You got to knock the champ out.
Dude, at some point in this game on Sunday, I remember saying there was like 5 minutes left and the Chiefs had the ball. And I went, these fuckers are going to keep it to the very end. And they're not going to give Josh Allen a chance to do it. I go, they could score right now because they were already past the 50. I go, they're going to milk the fuck out of this clock.
Yep.
And I go, because they've been there, they understand we know we can score. So now it becomes do we want to score and give Josh Allen the ball back?
Right.
Or could we just go and take as much clock as possible, feeling confident enough in Patrick Mahomes and the rest of this team to go, hey, we're going to drag this out because we know we're going to score when we need to. And it's what they fucking do. It's just they just do it every time. I saw like going back to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the LeBron James to Tom Brady's Jordan at this point, right? In the NFL. I would say that's like and it just happened to be really close together and they played in the same era, right? Like this is what would have happened if Jordan got to play LeBron got to play against Jordan basically, and Jordan got to win the last title or two, and then sort of like you pass the torch, if you will, right? To Patrick Mahomes, because Brady did beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, right? So we will get that argument, right? Like if they both end up at 7 Super Bowls, the argument will always be Brady beat him head to head, right? And good and yeah, fair, but Patrick Mahomes might win this one and never win another one again, and then it all fizzles out. He is, however, at this point in his career, like 5-6 years ahead of Brady in almost every statistical category that matters for a quarterback, including Super Bowls.
Really?
And so, again, this might be it, right? And then we might just go, man, Patrick Mahomes is great all time, but fucking Tom Brady, right? Like it might be that. Right. Or it might be that 3 years from now, we're going, Patrick Mahomes is already at 6, or it's 5. And he's got 10 years left in his career. Do we not think he's going to get to 2 more to tie Brady or pass him or what?
This one, if he wins this one, this will be number 4.
Yeah.
So they have a three-peat.
4 before he's 30.
Right. He have the three-peat, which has never been done.
Never been done.
And he'll have 4. They said before he's 30.
Before he's 30.
So I've seen that. So they've gone to 5 Super Bowls out of the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And they've won 3.
Yep.
And they're about to add and they could add a 4th.
So he's got 5 Super Bowls, right? Brady got to 10, and it took him to 45 to get to 10.
Yeah, it took him like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Or close to it.
Patrick Mahomes isn't 30 yet. And again, post 30, it is very difficult to start doing it, right? So I do understand that. Patrick Mahomes may never. It is so difficult in the NFL, and I think that's what we don't appreciate about the Chiefs. Like I think right now we're going, they're fucking always there. We hate them, yada yada yada. They may never get to it again, and this might just be like a little blip in the history books of like, hey, these guys won 3 in a row, or they won 2, 3 in 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, and it doesn't become anything more impressive than that, right? Like they could fall off a cliff. Or this could be a dynasty that keeps going because they have shown it doesn't matter who's as wide receiver, it doesn't matter who they have at running back. Travis Kelce isn't even having a good year statistically, and they're still they have 1 loss this year.
Yes.
And they're not even blowing teams out, which I think makes it more impressive.
To the team they just beat.
Yes, the 1 loss was to the Bills, and they're not even blowing teams out, which is the other thing. It's like they're keeping games close, and it's almost like you almost prefer it that way because it's like they're facing adversity the entire season. Like when you get teams like, remember the Patriots when they went undefeated, but they were blowing people out.
They were destroying.
They were destroying teams, and then the minute you get into a close game, and you start to get close. Like I worry about teams like that because like what happens when you get punched in the mouth?
Right.
I think the Chiefs, they've been getting punched in the mouth all year, and I think that makes this team more dangerous because I keep going. Like
they
even going into
this
game,
like,
I'm like, I like even going into this game, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna get beat by the Bills because I did pick the Bills, but part of me now just goes, they keep getting punched in the mouth, and they have for 15 weeks. Like they haven't blown out many people. Like a lot of their wins have been
17.
Close. No, but I mean in terms of like close games. Right. Most of them have been within a touchdown. And they just keep finding a way to win. And that makes them more scary to me because it's like, when there's 3 minutes left in the game and it's a 1-possession game, they've been there. They've done that on defense and offense, and they're not worried about you. Like,
and let me tell you, man, I would love to see Philly win. I just, in good conscience, man, I can't pick against the Chiefs because I go, they're going to find a way.
Yeah, so are we? Well, wait, I guess we got 2 podcasts from now. We'll be talking about who wins that Super Bowl. Yeah. So we're both picking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. Yeah. I is this is a repeat Super Bowl, right? It was,
Yeah,
last
it is.
year was Eagles. Yeah.
No, not last year. Last year was KC and
San
the
Fran?
Niners. Yeah,
Okay, so the year before that, it was Eagles and KC.
I believe so. All right, man. Yo, how we on time?
Hour and 4 minutes in.
All right, man. Let's close it off.
What do we want to?
We got a lot of shit left, but we're gonna have
so
to
much stuff.
fucking, yeah.
Dude, I want to. I really quickly before jumping to
Do
the
it.
last
Go.
topic. I want to. We talked last week about Bad Bunny and the thing. I just to give an idea of where that album is. Every song on that album right now is in the Billboard Top 100.
Everyone.
Every single song
I haven't even
on the
gotten
album
through the
is
album
in the
yet.
Billboard Top 100. He is the first Latin artist to achieve that ever
Wow.
in Billboard history. He's like the 15th or whatever artist to accomplish a feat where he has 100 songs make it into the Billboard Top 100. So for a career. So he's a 15 artist no matter what all time to accomplish that feat. But the first Latin artist to ever have that 100 songs get into that 100. And as far as like every song off an album getting into the top 100, I'm trying to think. I think Taylor Swift has done that.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone else has been able to
I was
do
gonna say,
that.
man.
Like,
I mean, listen. I didn't hear about that stat, but I think my point is like I've never heard a stat like that. Not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I've never heard a stat like that.
Yeah, it's. And if you guys didn't listen last week, I talked about I was fanboying over Bad Bunny's album. He becomes the first Latin artist to have 100 songs chart the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
And
but every song on an album, bro.
Every song on the album is in the Billboard
and not for
Hot
nothing,
100.
There's not like 8 songs on the album. There's like
It's
15.
like fucking 20, bro. It's like it's a big
like
album.
37 songs on that bitch.
And you said you started listening since we talked about it last week. No, you're not done. But I would say like you're not a Spanish speaker like natively, and you're not huge like. And you've enjoyed the album,
bro. Is bringing out the Puerto Rican in me.
It does. That's what, it brings out this pride that you forget.
I feel like I need to learn Spanish now.
Yeah, it's like I've always had a love for like where I've come from and the shit we do and bro, everything from the stereotypes to the good shit. It's like I love where I'm from. I love everything about it. But it did reinvigorate something of like, oh fuck, I forgot about this, or I thought it was cool about this. So it was neat to see. But like I've heard from multiple like things now of like I don't even speak Spanish and this shit slaps. You know, like I've just been killing it. Yeah, so it's cool to see that that sort of catch on.
Yeah, no man, and you know. I visited Puerto Rico for the first time in 2019, I believe. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal time, and being there, and it was cool because one of the folks that we went with was very familiar with the island. And so going around with him and just going to, and it wasn't even the big spot. It was going to all of the small spots.
That's where you want to go.
It was fucking amazing. And that, you know, that there's something about the pride of that island, man, that really just gets into you. The place I need to visit is, so that's my mother's side, man. And father's side is Antigua. I have not visited there yet. I need to go there. I need to see what that's like.
We're doing a pod from PR and Antigua. Let's fucking go.
In the same week.
I'm in. Let's fucking go. God damn it. Let's go.
No, shout out to Bad Bunny, man. Like fucking, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's funny you were talking about not about going there and sort of like going with someone from the island and all that. The last time I went. One of the most beautiful places I'd ever gone to there was recommended to me by a server.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, where would you know, like we're here. Where do you guys go? And he recommended this place. And it was funny. I went to this town and it was like an hour drive from San Juan where I was. And I took this drive. It was like towards the center of the island. And I remember being in the town looking for this place and asking locals, and they were like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Really?
And I was like, this guy told me that there's this thing is here, yada, yada. And they're like, I don't know, that area is like here. And so they sort of pointed me in the direction. And I parked in a field. It was a farm. It was a ranch.
Okay.
It was private property. It was like somebody was like, yeah, like, you know, you could park there and you pay like $5 to park or whatever it was. And then the beach was like on that, at the end of the block. It was like a dead end.
You say, hold on. So you're saying this in the center of the island?
Yeah. So this place I went to.
North or south?
North.
Okay.
And it was in Manatí.
Okay.
And actually the place I went to was called El Pozo de las Mujeres. So for anybody who wants to go there or whatever. And then it was like Cueva de la it was Cueva de las Golondrinas or some shit like that. I can't remember, but it was I remember Googling it and getting a YouTube video of someone who made it, because I got to the beach and I went, this doesn't feel like it's what this guy was telling me, right? And I watched a YouTube video of this person basically walked through this trail, and it was this hidden, like I had to go up this cliff and climb this cliffside and go through this little jungle-ish thing, and then go out into this place that was like a cave essentially, and it was where this guy was trying to lead me to. But in the cave was like a grotto, and there was all these like birds and stuff that just lived in there. There was like hundreds and hundreds of these birds, and it was like fucking beautiful. And it was from this guy that I knew, but like most of the locals there, I don't know if they just didn't want to tell me,
right,
or if they really truly didn't know. But I remember watching a YouTube video, and I had to watch the person watch the trail and go like, oh shit, okay, that looks like that, and climbing and just going, fuck it, I'm gonna walk through here. And I walked through a jungle, and and eventually made it there and got to this place, and it was gorgeous. And it trips me out how many people even there don't know, because like the tourist attractions are the tourist attractions. Everybody knows about those, and I tell people all the time, like, do that, but then go to Vieques and then go to the other islands off the thing. Like, you're gonna see shit there that looks like it's been uninhabited and untouched, and it rivals anything you will see in Asia and Europe and anywhere else in the world, South America. Like, I will put that up against anything ever. And anyone who's ever gone comes back and goes, what the fuck, bro? I didn't know that shit was so close to the United States, man.
Dude, so, when we were there, the best thing for me was we went to La Palguera.
Oh,
and
amazing!
And we did the bioluminescence.
The bioluminescence, yeah.
Which I think, from what I've heard now, is that you can't go into the water. We were able at that time to jump into the water.
Yeah, I did it at Bioluminescence Bay, which is also there. Yeah,
with fucking with snorkel gear on at night, and do that. That was amazing.
There's a place in where we live here, by the way, that does the bioluminescence thing. Yeah, close. I can't remember the name.
Can you jump into the water, or is it by like
you can do canoe and shit like that?
A kayak, right?
I mean, I think you can jump into the water. I don't know that it's prohibited. They like recommend that you don't, but you can.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's like if you get eaten by gators on you. It's like whatever. Yeah, Florida. Florida's gonna Florida, bro.
Florida's gonna Florida.
Florida's gonna Florida, man.
Yeah, man. We gonna leave the rest of the shit for next time.
Let's go.
Yo, tell them where they can find us.
At the Carbon Food Podcast on IG, at the Carbon Food Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and at Carbon FP Pod on Twitter, X, and all your favorite audio platforms, man. We're on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a review. Even if we suck, just give us some feedback. Spotify, follow us on there. But definitely. If, I know we get hit up a lot about people about the podcast, and they'll send us texts and those stuff. The best way you guys can support us is either following us on socials, leave a comment, give us a like, whatever, give us a drink recommendation, and then leave us a review on any of the social platforms, any of the streaming platforms, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. All those platforms allow you to leave reviews, Audible, and that is the best way you can get us up on the algorithm. Just interactions with our listener base is the best way. We do try to respond to everything on social. So if you leave us a YouTube comment, if you leave us a comment on any of the socials, we will try to respond to you. We will try to talk to you. If you give us a drink recommendation, I promise we will try it on the pod. So yeah, if I get asked all the time, like, how can we do something? Is there something I can do? Can I share it? Whatever. It's like the best thing you could do is follow us and then engage. So do that, even if it's telling us that we suck or we're full of shit or you disagree or whatever. We don't do this.
Really care.
Yeah, we don't do this so that you guys agree with us. We do it to talk and give our perspective and give our point of view, give our thought, and sometimes to just make jokes about shit. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna leave y'all with this. DJ Unk, take us out.
Let's go. Hey.
Now walk it out. Walk it out. Now walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out.
Get it. Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys. And we will see you next week.
See you next week. Peace.